wouldn't be fair for me to mess with your grade like that. Okay, here we go. More complex numbers today. All right, more complex numbers. We're going to call this more complex numbers. And yesterday, you simplified imaginary numbers, and then you graphed complex numbers, and then you found the absolute value of complex numbers. And today we're going to add and subtract complex numbers, and then we're going to multiply them. So adding complex numbers, we are going to find the sum or difference. And if you've got a 4 minus 3i, and you're going to add a negative 4 plus 3i, what you're doing with these complex numbers is the same thing you did with combining like terms, all right, earlier in the year. What you've got to do in this case is you got to combine the real numbers, and then you combine the imaginary numbers. So in this case, you got to be careful here. You got 4 plus negative 4, right? 4 plus sign negative 4. 4 plus negative 4 is 0, isn't it? All right. And then you've got negative 3i plus 3i. Well, negative 3i plus 3i, well, that's 0 as well. So pretty bad example to start off with. All right. But let's look at some more examples here. Let's look at 7 minus 2i. And we're going to add to it negative 3 plus I. All right. So here we take the 7 plus the negative 3. All right. 7 plus negative 3. That's 4. And then we got negative 2i plus I. Negative 2i plus I. That's going to be negative 1i, but you don't write the 1 in front of the I. Okay? So 4 minus I is your sum. Let's go with negative 2 minus 6i plus 7 plus 9i. We take the negative 2 plus the 7, and negative 2 plus 7, that's 5. We got negative 6i plus 9i. Negative 6i plus 9i. That's positive 3i. There's your sum. You're finished. Everybody okay with adding complex numbers? All right. Pay close attention now, because this subtracting can get very confusing. We got 5 minus 3i. I gave it to Miss Donahue, the dean. She's 3 doors down on the left. We got 5 minus 3i minus negative 2 plus 4i. This is where you got to be really careful. Look what you got. You got 5 minus negative 2. So we got 5 minus negative 2. That's the first part of this complex number. Right? So 5 minus negative 2, that's equal to 7. And then we got negative 3i minus 4i. negative 3i minus 4i. That's negative 7i. Okay? And now we got to put this thing back together. And when you put it back together, you're going to get 7 minus 7i. You just have to be real careful when it's subtraction, especially when you're subtracting a negative like you did up here. This 5 minus the negative 2. All right? 5 minus negative 2, that's keep, change, change. That's a positive 7. All right, let's try 8 plus 6i. Minus 8 minus 6i. So look what we got here again. We got the 8 minus 8, right? And what's 8 minus 8? 0. 6i minus negative 6i. All right, 6i minus negative 6i. That's keep, change, change. That's a positive 12i. All right. Not going to write the 0 plus part. So this is equal to 12i. Can y'all handle that? Okay. Now we're going to multiply some complex numbers. I need you to realize that when you're multiplying complex numbers, you got to remember that I squared equals negative 1. Super important. I squared is equal to negative 1. Find each product. So here we go. We got negative 3i. No, we don't. We don't have negative. We just got 3i. We got 3i. We're going to multiply it by negative 5 plus 2i. All right, this is distributive property. So we got this 3i times the negative 5. That's negative 15i. 3i times negative 5 is negative 15i. Then we got 3i times positive 2i. That's positive 6i squared. So we got negative 15i plus 6. 6i squared, remember I squared equals negative 1. So we replace the I squared with a negative 1. Look what we get here. We get negative 15i minus 6. Now, the real part has to go first. The imaginary part goes second. So we rewrite this as negative 6 minus 15i. There's your product. Everybody clear on that? Seven I times 3i. Seven I times 3i, that's 21 I squared. That's the same as 21 times negative 1. 21 times negative 1, that's equal to negative 21. 4 plus 3i. Times -1 minus 2i. Now you've got a binomial times a binomial, or you've got a complex number times a complex number. You have to do the distributive property twice. So you got to take the 4 times the -1 and the 4 times the -2i. 4 times -1 is -4. 4 times -2i is -8i. Then you have to take this 3i times the -1. 3i times -1 is -3i. And then the 3i times -2. 3i times -2i, that's -6i squared. You combine your imaginary parts. So we get -4 minus 11i minus 6, and we replace the I squared with -1. So we get -4 minus 11i. Now, this is a -6 here, or this is a minus a 6 times -1. Regardless, it ends up being +6. And now you have to combine your real parts. You got a -4 plus 6. So you get 2 minus 11i. It's not hard or difficult. You just have to be careful with your signs. And you got to remember that I squared is equal to -1. Anybody got any questions on adding, subtracting, or multiplying complex numbers? All right, your practice for today is going to be on page 253 again. And on page 253, 18 through 26.